everybody, it's the Lawn Gnome. Thank you so much for joining me for the first of many film reviews over here on That's Comical. And if you happen to be watching this on a Wednesday, happy New Comic Book Day. You know, a little bit of a backstory to me in regards to reviewing movies. If you've only found me here on That's Comical, you should definitely check out my other YouTube channel, which is called The Lawn Gnome. I've had that channel for going on 11 years, and it has now officially gone through some major changes. One of those changes was the birth of this channel, but when I was making content for a total of 10 years before I changed, one of my predominant pieces of content was reviewing films. And I was going to the theaters a lot, I was enjoying myself a great deal, just sitting in the movies, enjoying a great time, and then coming to you guys and telling you about my own personal thoughts, regardless of how you felt, because that's the beauty of individualism. We all have the ability to have our own opinions on everything. But I wasn't sure if that was going to be something that was ever going to return when I decided to make my changes, but when That's Comical was officially born, thanks to this incredible team that we have over here, it was impossible for me not to come back and talk about everything that I was seeing on the big screen, especially in the world of comic book films. And that is what we're going to be doing moving forward. You will get reviews from me about the individual new releases in regards to comic book films, and there is no doubt in my mind that we will be going back in time and taking a look at some of the older comic book films of the past. Not to mention that Cammie and I, and possibly another guest or two, will be doing our DC Animated live show, talking about the DC Animated Film Library, and we will definitely be revisiting the original cartoon shows as well. But today, we're going to be talking about the newest installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It has been a long time since I have been in the theaters, and this was my very first time back since March of 2020, and of course, I couldn't have picked a more enjoyable time at the theater than the newest installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Black Widow. Of course, starring Scarlett Johansson, David Harbour, Rachel Weisz, Ray Winstone, and Florence Pugh. So, Black Widow, I think, was the movie that everybody was screaming about. Everybody loves Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow ever since she made her first appearance in the 2010 Marvel Cinematic Universe film Iron Man 2 with Robert Downey Jr., and we finally get this solo film in regards to her life as a child, and how she actually became the vigilante superhero and Avenger that she is in the film saga today. So I was just expecting what I get from every Marvel Cinematic Universe film. A good time in the movie theaters, regardless of anything that I like or dislike about the film. And granted, that is exactly what I got with Black Widow. Just seeing this film on the big screen, it was a true spectacle. The action sequences, the visual effects, everything was incredible. But there was one thing that really made me happy about this film, and that's the fact that we got a truly rich, vibrant story. This is a movie that takes place in between Captain America Civil War and Avengers Infinity War. We see Black Widow on the run, and through this time she is uncovering some major pieces of her past that are clouded regarding the Red Room, reuniting with the people who she thought were her true family by reuniting with her sister and her parents, one of them who happens to be a Soviet superhero named the Red Guardian, who is played by David Harbour, and through this, her job is to officially take down the man who ran the organization known as the Red Room, who took young girls and turned them into cold-blooded killers. Starting in this movie, I have to say I was so impressed because the story was so rich. There was so much emotion. I really felt that I was going to get the first truly deep, thought-provoking, dark Marvel Cinematic Universe film since my favorite in the library, and that, of course, is Captain America and the Winter Soldier. It really started out like that when we see Natasha's childhood, to the point where she is an adult on the run, to reuniting with Yelena, her sister, played by Florence Pugh, who is brilliant in this movie. She is truly the highlight of this movie. But then, something happens that I knew was coming because it just has to be in all of these Marvel Cinematic Universe films, and it was the jokes. I never appreciate the fact that a movie that can truly be so deep and so serious has to have so much comedy, and there were so many forced jokes in this movie. Not jokes that worked. These were truly forced, lame jokes. I love David Harbour in Stranger Things, and as Alexei, aka the Red Guardian, I thought he did a phenomenal job, but oh my god, he really was made out to play the ultimate dad who tells the ultimate corny dad jokes, and I just was filled with cringe every single time a joke was cracked, because the jokes just didn't work in this film. When you see that beginning opening sequence, it is incredible. When you get to that final showdown between the head of the Red Room and Natasha, it's incredible. It's very gory, too. I was very impressed by the amount of gore that I saw in this movie. And then that beautiful final showdown between Natasha and the other villain of this film, which is called the Taskmaster. Absolutely brilliant action, even with a lot of emotion in there as well, especially when you see the reveal of Taskmaster. So, yes, there are some truly great elements to enjoy in this movie, but oh my god, they've got to stop with the comedy, especially when you see a movie like this. But I will still say that this is truly a great watch. You definitely should see this on the biggest screen that you can. There is a ton of rewatchability here, and yes, I will be owning this movie on DVD, probably not Blu-ray, because when it comes to these films, I don't care much for the special features, and they do still put these movies on physical media, so Black Widow will definitely become a piece of my collection, which is why I'm going to be giving Black Widow 3.5 stars out of 4. I really did enjoy this movie. The comedy, while it was terrible, the truly great, rich, thought-provoking elements were definitely stronger than the jokes. Now, that's my review and my rating. So, I'm about to do some serious spoilers. So if you don't want to watch them, turn the video off now because you got everything that you wanted, and I will see you in the next one. So, there's 2 specific things that I truly despised outside of the jokes. When the credits started to roll, of course, what do you do when it comes to watching a Marvel Cinematic Universe film? You sit till the end of the credits and you wait for the post-credit scene. When we were waiting, my wife and I was telling her, you know, this may actually be the very first time where I would actually have to take my Marvel Cinematic Universe films and watch them out of sync. Because this movie is a movie you really need to watch before you move on past Captain America Civil War. Enter problem number 1. Post-credits scene, if you do in fact watch Captain Civil War, and then you watch Black Widow when you have the ability to do so, if you had never seen those movies for the first time, that post-credit scene is going to be a monster spoiler for you. Because once you see that post-credit scene, then you realize, oh lord, I really have to watch this movie after Avengers Endgame. There's no way. Otherwise, this is just going to spoil it for everybody. Big, big mistake. Truth be told, what would have been so much better as a post-credit scene was Natasha meeting Steve Rogers somewhere ultra hidden and getting ready to break their friends out of jail, which is exactly what is supposed to happen in between Civil War and Infinity War. So I think that that would have been a much better post-credit scene, because then you really could watch Black Widow right after Captain America Civil War. And enter problem number 2, which was the biggest problem I saw, because we officially have caught Kevin Feige in a lie. He specifically said, when he was announcing what Phase 4 was going to be, that you do not need to watch the TV shows on Disney Plus in order to truly enjoy the films. Well, apparently that is not true. Because not only do you see a character that you wouldn't even know unless you've seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I have not, but I do know who this character is because I'm willing to spoil myself. I'm willing to read because I do not have Disney Plus, and I have no intention of getting Disney Plus. And even though Disney announced that their Disney Plus exclusive shows will never be on physical media, I'm still not getting Disney Plus because you will not force me to buy your product. I'm sorry. I am not going to pay a renter's fee just because this is the only way to watch something that now apparently I have to see. So you lost me there, Disney. I'm sorry. And then you find out that this post-credit scene is only forcing you to watch the new series Hawkeye, because Florence Pugh's character, Yelena, is going to be playing a massive role in the Hawkeye series, so this post-credit scene really has no connection to the films whatsoever. It's all about Disney telling you, now you have to subscribe to Disney+. So boo on you, Disney. Boo on you, Kevin Feige. You are not getting my money regardless. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching my review of Black Widow. Please leave your comments in the box below. I would love to know what you thought about the film, and I am looking forward to seeing you in the next one.